Welcome to This Explainer. Sometimes the absolute deepest emotional insights come from the most incredibly mundane places. Today, we're going to unpack a profound philosophy hidden inside of all things, a totally standard household argument about replacing air conditioners. It is a really fascinating look at the hard choices we have to make for the people we love, and honestly, how we navigate those tough conversations with our kids.
Boom. Right out of the gate, the emotional stakes are set. Out of absolutely nowhere, this young girl named Lucy makes a blunt, entirely innocent parallel. She literally connects her mom replacing an old household appliance directly to her grandparents being moved out to a retirement home. It is exactly the kind of unfiltered, startling connection that only a kid can make, right? And it forces the adults in the room to just stop and confront the really harsh-sounding reality of their choices.
Okay, let's back up a second. How did we even get to that point? Well, the source material starts with a totally surface-level dilemma. Mama is making a very practical, almost clinical decision to upgrade 4 old air conditioners in the house. The tech explains that the new ones use this eco-friendly cooling gas, they consume way less electricity, basic sensible household management. The problem? Lucy objects. She absolutely refuses and wants to keep the old one in her bedroom.
And this perfectly captures the clash at the heart of the story. It's a classic battle of head versus heart. On one side, you've got Lucy's fierce, unbending loyalty to an old AC unit that she actually affectionately named Mr. Cool. She's arguing that, hey, it's been helping her for years, and just being old isn't a good enough reason to throw it out. On the other side, you have Mama's pure, undeniable logic. Old technology just has to make way for the new. This sets up the central metaphor flawlessly, right before Lucy makes that massive cognitive leap about her grandparents.
Now, this seemingly silly clash over an air conditioner actually introduces us to a truly profound care-giving philosophy. Let's call it difficult care. This concept shifts our entire paradigm. So often, we naturally equate loving someone with keeping them physically close to us, right in our homes. But difficult care? It's the conscious act of prioritizing a dependent's specific, specialized needs way above our own emotional comfort of just keeping them close by.
Now, a lot of parents might get super defensive after a harsh accusation from their kid, but Mama, she actually leans right into it and reframes the whole situation. She explains that moving loved ones isn't about just discarding them because they are old. Not at all. It's about recognizing that they have special needs that simply cannot be handled in a standard home anymore. The love hasn't changed one bit. They are equally loved, but their environment absolutely must change to ensure they are safe and well taken care of.
And then comes the absolute gut punch. Lucy looks at her mom and asks, "Should I be doing the same to you?" I mean, wow, that is a moment that would make literally any parent freeze in their tracks. Lucy is taking the clinical-sounding logic her mother just outlined, projecting it into the future, and basically asking, hey, does this rule apply to you too?
Just listen to how Mama handles this, because it's brilliant. She completely neutralizes any future guilt for her daughter. She doesn't flinch. She says, yes, dear, you must. She validates that these places keep people safe. But then she goes a massive step further. She states she'll proactively go to a retirement home by the time she's 60. She literally tells Lucy, you need not have to send me. She is fully embracing the transition herself, which is just an act of immense empathy, completely removing the heavy, crushing burden of that choice from her child's shoulders.
So, back to the great AC standoff. How does it actually end? Well, Mama respects her daughter's boundaries and lets Lucy keep Mr. Cool, though with a gentle warning not to complain about it later. As the months roll by, Lucy inevitably starts noticing how amazingly nice and cool Mama's new AC is. Eventually, she caves and asks for a new one too. Mama, ever the pragmatist, agrees but insists they wait until winter when the units and the technicians are cheaper. She basically lets natural consequences guide Lucy toward acceptance rather than forcing the change down her throat all at once.
But here's the thing. This whole difficult care philosophy, it doesn't just apply to elder care. As they're wrapping up this discussion about the new AC, Lucy remembers another time the family had to make a really hard choice for a dependent they loved, their dog Bozo.
The family had to face a really tough reality with Bozo. A dog needs exercise to stay healthy, and being cooped up totally alone in a flat all day long was making him absolutely miserable. So, they made the hard call. By sending him to a family with a large farm where he could run freely, he became so much happier and fitter. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it proves that matching a dependent to their ideal environment is a universal rule of care, whether we are talking about an aging parent or a beloved family pet.
If we take Mama's approach and distill it down into a repeatable framework for navigating these incredibly guilt-laden transitions, it basically looks like this.
First, you identify the special needs. Second, you find a safe environment that caters specifically to those requirements. Third, you accept that many decisions are just simply not going to be easy. And finally, you act. The text beautifully mentions Mama's half smile, suggesting the tug in her heart. She absolutely feels the emotional pain of the separation, but she pushes through and acts anyway, because she knows it's the right thing to do.
This brings us to the absolute core takeaway of this entire explainer. Mama says, remember that sending someone away is an act of care too. It is a complete and total reframing of what it means to be a loving caregiver. It untangles our own selfish desire to keep someone near us from the truly selfless act of putting them in a place where they will actually thrive.
So, as we wrap things up today, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. Think about the dependents in your own life right now. Aging parents, kids, even your pets. How often do we let the guilt of letting go prevent us from providing the truly targeted care they actually need? True care isn't always comfortable, and it for sure isn't always close to home. Sometimes the absolute most loving thing you can possibly do is make the hard choice. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this concept, and I really hope it challenges how you view love, guilt, and making those difficult decisions in your own life.